Boswell, you putz. I really appreciated your videos. And as I said in my text, my favorite part was, well, a couple things. My true top favorite part was that it was like you were with me talking to me, and the fact that you were talking to me, I kind of felt like I was with you. I couldn't respond, which was, I don't know, could be a little frustrating at times, but not really. I was happy to hear what you were talking about. The first thing I wanted to say is regarding the camera and your presence and being shy, etc. I get it. I totally get it. I don't even want to show my mug on camera. I think you're a good-looking guy, but I don't like seeing myself on camera. But everybody's like that, so that's bullshit. But you still proved my point that you could have a viable channel if you chose to, and I don't think you'd have to put that much effort into it. And the reason I say that is because you have this perspective that most of us don't have, and that's just so cool that you can say, okay, here's how I see the world, and here's how the world was back in the day of Christ, and this is what people were doing, and here's what they were thinking. And then you have the perspective of kind of the modern day mystical sort of spirituality kind of thing, where you have some leaders or masters that you can form that perspective. So I think it's very dynamic. And I was thinking about that when you were talking about Trump. I was thinking about, okay, you can come at it from a million different angles. But the way that I think about it is the way someone looks at somebody. First of all, people are too unconscious. You're a thinker. You don't ride through life unconsciously. I've ridden through a lot of my life that way. On the negative side, just being unconscious and not thinking. I try to do it more now. But when you get down to, okay, I heard what you said about Trump, but then I thought, okay, how do people think about what people are like? There's the way we grew up, the way our parents treated us, the way we were influenced by other people, including our parents, experiences we've had, people we've met along the way, and a million other things that have caused us to be the person that we are today. And so that answer, when you talk to somebody about somebody, is going to be different. It's slightly different or majorly different, depending on who that individual is. And I'm just thinking about, I mean, I'm not a guy who's been a world traveler or things like that, but I've met a lot of people. I've worked around a lot of people, but in certain environments, I mean, mainly the corporations. So maybe my perspective is different from yours, but certainly it's different from yours that I don't have the biblical references to think about. It's funny because when I think about Trump, I see more of a savior. And try not to, let me pause so you can stop laughing, okay? I've thought through how I feel about politicians, and I don't think I trust any one of them. As much as there's some of them I like, sure, but they're not as effective as they should be, and they don't do things they say they're going to do. Whether it's on that side, the other side, or my side, whatever, it doesn't matter. They all get there, and they don't do what they're supposed to do and what they promised that they were going to do. And I think, and I wanted to make an analogy. I don't know if you saw the Batman movie. I don't know if it was the first one with Michael Keaton or the second or third one, but anyway, Jack Nicholson played the Joker, and I think he looked the way he did because he fell in a vat of acid or something like that. And there was a scene where Batman and the Joker, Batman I think had him by the neck and was going to kill him or throw him off a building or something, and the Joker said, "You made me. This is your fault. You made me." Because I think he was responsible for throwing him in the acid or something. I don't know, but it's like, there's another perspective. When you look at what we're fed, information that we're fed, what we see on TV all the time, if we choose to listen to it on the radio, now on the internet, it's just bombardment with bullshit. It's all fake. It's just ridiculous. And I believe that because we're being lied to on a daily basis and by just about everybody who happens to be a politician, we're just being lied to. Now you got the world order, the government, they want to take away all of our rights. We hear the stuff over and over and over, and it's just a bunch of lies, and it creates us. It makes us angry. You know, if you're a staunch Trump reporter or you're a Biden supporter, you're going to be angry if you're on the other side. And because of the lies on each side, if you're on my side, we're gonna say what an evil, terrible person Biden is, and if you're on Biden's side, you're gonna say what an evil, terrible person Trump is, because regardless of which side it is, they're lying. They're just lying all the time. I happen to think that we lie less. Well, the sources that I watch, I believe, I don't think we lie as much, but it still influences me. And when I heard what you were talking about, you mentioned Antichrist and stuff like that, and with reference to Trump, what's funny is, getting back to that Batman analogy, Trump wouldn't be here if the politicians hadn't fucked everything up. They just fuck everything up. Republicans and Democrats, they're all bought. They're all pussies. Well, Republicans are more pussies than the Democrats are. They should do more. But that's what, I mean, Trump talked about becoming president his whole career, but he usually said he wasn't going to do it unless he had to. And he came in, and if you compare what he did, he stopped wars. There were no wars under him. Biden started wars. I am a firm believer that if Trump was president right now, there'd be hundreds of thousands of people that would be alive in Ukraine and now in Israel. I believe that. And you could just go down the list on any, he may not be 100% right on everything, but I think the politicians created that guy, just like Batman created the Joker. And he's here, well, it's actually a bad analogy because the Joker was a bad guy. I don't see Trump as a bad guy, but I do see him as being kind of created, having to jump in and do something about what he believed, that the world was just going in the wrong direction. So I happen to see him the opposite as you do. I don't think, personality-wise, he's the greatest person. As far as the legal things against him, I think they're contrived, and I think they simply are afraid of him. They do not want him around, and they'll do anything. And in fact, I would not be surprised if they assassinate him. They can't have him in there. They're doing everything possible to not put him in office. The lawsuits are frivolous. They're bullshit. That judge is just after him. He just hates him. I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. Anyway, you see what happens? You start talking politics with anybody, they get all worked up. Except for you, Boswell. You have a pretty even keel. That's what I like about you. Yeah, so anyway, it's all good, man. I just respect that we can have a civil conversation, but you and I have a lot in common, so we're not going to trash each other if we believe something different. And if I had the same conversation with my brother, rest his soul, he'd probably be pissed off. But whatever, man, you know, we just keep plugging along on what we believe in. And anyway, getting back to your video, I really, really enjoyed it. I do believe there is a place for something of what you have, because you can talk about current events with a perspective from what happened back in the day of Christ and other spiritual type things. So it's just up to if you want to do it. I mean, that's all. I just think you just need structure and a limitation of time, but a specific message that you want to give to people. And I believe it would grow from there, because I'd listen to you. I'd be one of your subscribers, if not help you with the podcast and be a part of it. But we can still talk about that. I got to get I just have to get consistency in my life. And I just learning a lot about myself. I can't stay focused, and that's everything. Actually, I just bought a book that I just got in the mail, and it's by James Clear, and it's about habits and how to form and keep and be better organizationally and all that good stuff. So hopefully that will help. I am at Lake Wildwood in Penn Valley, California. It's a kind of a retirement community, and apparently I'm at a dangerous place that could collapse any second and I would die. Wouldn't be such a bad thing, I guess. But anyway, all is good, Boswell. All is as it should be. And I think I have a huge appreciation for our friendship, and I'm glad that I get to hear your voice, and I thank you for being flexible with me. I tend to make commitments and I don't always follow through with them, but I'm still loyal, I promise. It's a pretty lake. I actually thought about living here one time, but they have all the HOA crap. I don't want to deal with that crap. All right, Boswell. Thanks again, man. I appreciate you, and we'll talk soon.